All right, let me get it right. Let me get it right tonight. I'll be done here in a second. It's still 6:59, so I'm not late yet. I'll be done here in a second. All right, 7 o'clock. Gonna rock. So here I'm here I'm am. Let's get down to biz. Let's get straight to the spam. So here I am, break on through. Oh yeah. A break on through brew toast to you. Yeah, I'm still making notes. All right, hold on just a second. So who all's with me? Adam Wolf, live. Kyle. Kyle's going to be at our show down in the good old town of Hotlanta. Walt Wheat. Yeah, I told Walt, I said, man, we don't really like having, punk rock names in the band, but he was such a perfect fit for the electric rock that is Antiseen that I'll go ahead and let him have his punk rock name. Walt Wheat. I mean, you think that's somebody's real name? Oh yeah, now that we got break on through brews close by, we need to drink a toast for a happy birthday to our main Mang Herbert Jerome Gailey from up around Pittsburgh Way. And we'll be seeing him on this next string of shows. Man, this guy travels all over the country to see him some good old Antiseen because he knows what's going to be done. If you want to see the real deal, the real spiel, the true greatest rock and roll band in the world, you got to travel. And he does. Happy birthday, Herbert. Many more to you. In the best of health, my brother. Also, to my buddy Jason Young, who is also experiencing a birthday today. Best to you both. So that good old Kentucky hibiscus. There he is, the birthday boy's here with us live, Herbert. Hey, you guys see I've been doing some work in here on the wall. It's been a blank brick wall for a while now. It's really hard to get those things lined up real good on a brick wall, but I gave it the preschool try. Coleman was in here with me, and we were acting like Under the Ladder was the jail where the apes throw the humans. And he was an ape on a horse. He was a mean ape. And that's why he ended up in jail. So, had a lot of fun. And I'm just commenting on some things here. Not commenting, but responding to some things here. Trying to get the interaction going, because
I'm gonna tell y'all got to ask some questions tonight. Even though I have a lot to talk about. A lot
to rap about. Well, not a whole bunch, but you know how it goes with a little break on through. Once I get that entire side of the room done, I'll do another. Actually, it's probably time for another tour, man. This place has changed a lot since the last time I took you guys on a tour of the Break On Through studios. We'll do that again. Does that sound good to everybody? Would you like to see a Break On Through studios tour? Because I feel like giving one. Joey Vincent wants to know, when are we going to see some new shirt designs, Jeff? Well, if you come to our shows in March 6th, 7th, and 8th, you'll see one there. What is it, Jeff? Why you got to tell? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not even going to post it. You just have to come to the show and see what good thing we got cooked up. Kyle, has Antiseen ever played at the Claremont in Atlanta? Yes, Kyle. We have. If I'm not mistaken, I think we may have played there twice. But yeah, that was quite the experience. We did play there twice. All right, Walt wants me to tell an embarrassing birthday story. Well, this is as good a time as any. This would have had to have been when I was probably 2 years old. How do you remember stuff at 2 years old and you can't even remember stuff? You got to write it down. Well, there's things that just kind of stick with you. You know, like snapshots. Or reels, if you will. If we had Facebook in 1965, then these little reels of things that happened stick in my head. Well, my cousin, Ann Morris, was born 5 days after me. Her birthday is November 25th. She was actually born on the day Kennedy was shot, I think. Was he shot on the 25th or 23rd? Anyway, we were both in the hospital when Kennedy was shot. And Jerry Morrow and Greg Crawford. Greg Crawford, did you get your hoodie? Everybody get their hoodie? I didn't see an amazing amount of photos of people posing with their hoodies. I had a few really good ones. Still waiting on one from Bill Eadie, the mass superstar. But anyway, I'm getting off subject, which I tend to do. So anyway, we celebrated our birthdays together since they were only 5 days apart. And we did it. I'm going to say this term, and people from here in the South probably know exactly what I mean when I say it, but we did it at the church hut. Do you know what it means when I say the church hut? Imagine, if you will, a small country Methodist church sitting by itself. It's a little one. It was called Bethel United Methodist Church in New London, North Carolina. It's still there to this day. Although I don't think many of my family go there anymore. But that is where my mom was buried. And anyway, it was always the church and a little building out there off to the side that had a kitchen, a fully functional kitchen, and lots of long tables and chairs where they would, have their dinners if they didn't have them, and lunches if they didn't have them outside. During the summer and the spring, they'd all be outside. But That's where they would do stuff like that. Or, you know, like the men's groups or the women's groups would meet in there. But anyway, they decided they would have our birthday party there in the church hut. Now, this much I remember. I ended up in my pajamas because I think the party must have gone so long, they figured they'll just change me into my pajamas there and save them a lot of hassle if I've fallen asleep and then they want to put me in them. So, you know, we're running around like lunatics, and I had on these red bedroom slippers that had clown heads on the end of them. And you're not going to think, well, why is that so important to the story? Because it's these clown slippers that I remember seeing in various poses to help me remember what all went down here. But besides the fact that I got reminded of it about, you know, every 6 months for a while. But do you guys remember the things that they used to have? A little cardboard tube, you know, rolled up with some tissue paper. These had a metal whistle in them. You couldn't see it. It was stuck up in the tube. You blow it, you know, and it goes that kind of business. Well, for some reason, at 2 years old, I thought that the part that you stick in your mouth and blow to make the thing go out, I figured I could do it with my nose. So I shoved that thing up there up my nose, and I guess I did get it to, you know, but for some reason, maybe because I had to breathe to live, I snorted inward. And I guess I've been so rough with that thing, man, that little metal whistle went straight up my nose. So now every time I'm breathing, you know, hey, everybody, what's going on? I wasn't talking that clear, but, you know, every time I breathe. And, man, I just remember people, like my mom trying to get it out of my nose. Wasn't happening. So my grandpa comes over there. He tries to get it out of my nose. They're taking, you know, tweezers and stuff. And, man, I think they just keep pushing it further back. And at this point, they just say, you know what? We got to take him to the hospital. And I don't know who carried me. I think it must have been my dad. But I just remember being carried from the hut to a car. And that, you know, at this time now I'm crying like crazy because I've had, like, you know, I don't know, 37 people trying to dig up my nose to get this thing out. And they can't. And now I'm crying. I like that. And I just remember being carried, and I remember getting to the like that reel that plays. I remember seeing those hospital doors open, all those institutional lights in there, and them carrying me in there. I don't remember what happened. Apparently they took something long in there, pried that thing out, and poop, you know. I was fine, but made for a good story, and it made for a good story to tell, 59 years later, right here live on Break On Through, about how I tried to snort a party favor. Let's see y'all with so many of your drug stories be able to top that one. Aaron says, "Get a magnet." Well, Aaron, I don't need it now. And Clayton, yeah, I think they did try needle nose pliers. Henceforth, probably the crime. Clinton Zilly, you ready for links? I'm going to go ahead and give you a little heads up. How about get ready for the March show's ticket links. Got plenty of advance warning. Well, as my main man, Robbie Hargett, just mentioned, the First Lady and I renewed our vows this weekend at the Encounter Charlotte, our church that we are members of. It wasn't just us, though. It was a bunch of couples. I would say about 11 couples. And we had a really, really, really nice ceremony. We all, walked down the front and faced our bishop, Alan DiDio, and we did the whole wedding ceremony, and then we turned around and then we announced you, Mr. and Mrs. And it was a good time, and we have a magnificent professional cook as a member of our church that they made an actual wedding cake, 3-layer wedding cake. Each layer was a different kind of cake, right? And really good. You see the pictures that I posted on my page, and they said, there were the photographers walking around. Hey, let me see y'all cross forks. So we crossed our forks. I think it's great pictures. I hope y'all enjoy them. But it was a good time. And actually, Clinton, I just thought of another link. And then it went away from my mind. It happens a lot when you renew your vows. Good gosh, man. Oh! I was talking about our bishop, Alan DiDio. And, okay, well, you know what? Clinton's already starting on tickets, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that so we don't get too far. I'm going to have you do some links off of Encounter Charlotte in a minute. But okay, yeah, he's got the first link. March 6th. Because I know when the alarm clock went off this morning and you reached over there and cut it off, the first thing that came to your mind is, man, when am I going to see Antiseen walking the boards, strumming the strings, beating the drum, having a sing live? When is it going to happen? When do the good things in my life happen? Well, you know what? I'm going to outline that for you right now. And there's the first link. March 6th in Piedmont, South Carolina. And man, folks, when I tell you this, and Clinton, if you would, please post a picture of each flyer in there. If you would. I'm sorry I'm working you to death, Clinton, when you're just trying to enjoy some break on through, but old JC. But man, if we could get you guys here on Break On Through to share, repost these flyers, these ticket links, man, that would really, really help. Like you would never, ever, never, even ever believe. Because, man, there's so much going on social media, and then, a lot of people will rather just, argue and complain and cry about all the wasteful money that's been spent on nonsense being uncovered. That's making people mad because they liked for our money to go to nonsense. They preferred that. And so people forget to look at when the greatest rock and roll band in the world is setting up the gear and showing the people how to cut the rug. So if y'all could help spread this information, man, that would be fantastic. But we are playing March 6th. That is a Thursday night at Tribbles, Piedmont, South Carolina, with special guests Blue Ridge Death Cult and Camino. Nice little rock and roll outfit that I had the pleasure of listening to a little bit ago. But then, okay, March 6th, Thursday night. You know, our shows, they don't go late. They don't go late. So you got time to go home and get you a few winks before getting up and going to the warehouse or to the office or hitting the highway, whatever you do. And you're just like, man, there ain't no way. There's no way I got enough Antiseen in one evening. I gotta get a double shot. Well, then you're in luck, because on March 7th, Friday, March 7th, in the historical city of Atlanta, Georgia, at the Star Bar, we will be performing live. Do you hear what I say? Live. With Atlanta's very own Bigfoot. Bigfoot. And you're like, well, damn. Bigfoot, Antiseen, Star Bar, Friday night. Let's go. Well, if there's one person in your group going, oh, I feel like that, well, here's what's going to get them off their seat. Here's what's going to get them off the couch cushion and into the seat of the car on the way to the Star Bar. And that is that the overseer of the entire evening is none other than the great, the legendary, the king of extreme wrestling. I'm talking about the one and the only, none other than the madman from the Sudan. Abdullah the Butcher will be sitting over there at his table with photos, merchandise for you to purchase. You can even get your picture taken with him while you watch Bigfoot and Antiseen. So you're hearing some of the greatest music ever made, and you're sitting there and you're standing there in the presence of Abdullah the Butcher. Now, I'm trying. That's why I zoned out a little bit. I was trying to think of what could be a better evening than that. At least that we can say on social media. So, there you go. That's your double shot right there. And man, if for some reason, and I think it will happen. I think it will happen. I think it's going to happen. You're going to say, man, I've had me a double shot of Antiseen this weekend. Man, I think 3 times is going to be the charm. 3 times is going to be what it's going to take to get my Antiseen fix. Well, all roads lead to Johnny Mac's in Fairhope, Alabama on March 8th. The beautiful, scenic, coastal town right off the Gulf of America. You will get to see not only Antiseen, but you will also get to see country music sensation Miss Kelsey Ray Copeland. And if that pairing right there is not enough to get you away from the phone or the computer or the TV for a little bit, then let me throw one more ingredient in there. Mobile, Alabama's favorite sons and daughter, Future Hate. Damn, Jeff, why you always say that before you? Because if you ever went to see them, you would know exactly why I say that they are Mobile, Alabama's favorite sons, 3 of them, and daughter, 1. Miranda, the singer. Incredible. What's left to even think about. 3 shots. Now, you're like, well, that takes care of March. What are we going to do about April? Well, I've got the answer to those questions too. April 17th, in the wonderful working class city of Youngstown, Ohio, at the West Side Bowl. Antiseen. A Thursday night in Youngstown. Antiseen will be live. And then, for the first time in a long time, Antiseen returns to Cleveland, Ohio on April the 18th to Dunlap's in Cleveland. Now, I don't know what our lineup for that is. These shows are actually going to announce on Friday. But you heard them right here first on Break On Through. And we will also get up ticket links and stuff like that as soon as they come in. But then, here's the one I really need to explain to you. That's going to be a rock and roll extravaganza like you never, ever, never, even ever seen. And this is going to be a independently promoted show. An independently promoted show in Medford, New Jersey on April the 19th. Independently promoted by Amy Nicoletto of Order of the Sacred Crow Tattoo. Big fan of ours. Travels all over the place to see us, just like Herbert. And it is going, and the way it's looking, I don't know for a fact, but the way it's looking, it's just going to be Antiseen. It's a BYOB place, but you can buy beer downstairs and take it upstairs where we will be. And man, doors at 8, Antiseen at 9. Everybody home in time to watch the news. Or whatever you watch. Does anybody even watch the news anymore? So there you have it. Man, that's 6 shots of Antiseen live. What's this James Cave says? That's the day after my yearly anniversary around the sun. Well, man, what better way could you celebrate adding one more number to your age than coming to see Antiseen? I can't even think of a better way. I'm trying. I can't think of it. There's not a better way, James. And Herbert, you got to travel how long? How long is Youngstown from you? How long did you say? 40 minutes. Man, I bet you won't even come to our show in Youngstown because you'll think that's not a big enough challenge to drive 40 minutes. You say, I like driving 40 hours. But anyway. Let's get some questions, man. I gotta fill some time. I gotta fill up about 15 minutes here. I will tell you this though. You can tune in tomorrow night on Malcolm Tent's Facebook page. Malcolm Tent's Facebook page. And I don't think this is an edition of Tent Talks Tunes, but it's a Malcolm Tent special edition where he will discuss the psychology of Kevin M. Allen, known to most of you as G. Allen. So be sure to tune in for that at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I was talking to him today. He was getting it all together, getting it all ready, experimenting with some technology. It's going to be something you're not going to want to miss, so don't miss it. Man, did anybody else get fooled by that fake X-Files ad that was going around Facebook and Instagram? Well, I sure did. I was talking to Brandon. You know, Brandon Robinson, a road dog. I was talking to him at church the other night. And I said, man, I can't wait for that. No, I didn't even say that. He brought it up because, man, he said, I was excited about that X-Files. But then I found out it was fake. And I went, hold on a second. I said, you mean the X-Files new season with 2-night premiere? That's not even real? He's like, nah, man, it was one of those internet hoaxes. And I was like, goodness gracious, man. Well, I was disappointed. Yeah, Kyle Malcolm is the man. He has got quite the gift of gab. He'll give you a 5, 10, a 15, and a $20 word all in the same sentence. I love the guy. OJC, he just talks blue collar, working class. But that's the way we do it around here. But come on, hit me with some questions. Hit me with your best shot. Come on, hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Oh, I do know something I need to tell you. This coming Friday, and I made a post on my personal page about a radio show that's going to air. It's not going to. It's live on the air. It's not pre-recorded. It starts at 12 noon, goes to 3 o'clock. Our good pal Tom Netherland is the DJ, and he is going to be playing a selection off of Clayton and Wensil on the radio show. Now, I don't know if these shows are archived and you can go back and listen to them, but if you have the chance this Friday at 12 noon, you follow that link that I've got on my page, on the Jeff Clayton page, you'll see the post. You go there at noon on Friday, and he plays some really good stuff. I think you will enjoy it. And you'll get to hear a Clayton and Wensil tune that you have not heard, have you not bought the CD yet. We've got 2 out now, 2 videos, or two songs are available to listen to. Peace in the Valley and Oh Happy Day. I'm not going to tell you what the third one coming up is. If Dennis is watching, Dennis, you think maybe we can have it show up this coming Friday? Is that what we discussed? That would be good, you know, having it come out and then played on this radio show, which gets quite the audience. Yeah, they're talking about the picture of Vince Russo and Jim Cornette. See, man, that's the AI stuff. I don't like that stuff. It stands to cause a lot of trouble if used the wrong way. And, of course, on social media, almost everything is going to be the wrong way. So, keep your AI. Keep your AI. Speaking of Clayton and Wensil, we had our second practice this past Saturday as what we're trying to shape into a live performance unit. And the thing that's going on is we have different variations of the lineup that we're going to put out live for the live audience. One version would just be with me and Steve, which we practiced that 2 weeks ago, and we realized that if that's the way we have to go sometime, that we are able to make that sound enjoyable. So, but we wanted to have, you know, some of the other instruments. I mean, Steve played every instrument on the CD, so we'd have to get some other people. And right now we've got Jeff Williams from Stop Talking, formerly of Stop Talking, is playing bass for Clayton and Wensil. And this coming Saturday, our second guitarist on acoustic guitar. I've been talking about him for a little bit now. I talk about him a lot. Even behind his back. I'm talking about the one and only. Are you ready? I'm talking about Malcolm Tent. Strumming along with acoustic guitar. Along with our background singers. And we're hoping that sometime in the very near future, that we will be playing live at Kingdom Corner on one Saturday afternoon, like around 12 o'clock. That's in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. So if you're in the Concord area, Charlotte area, man, if you're up in Raleigh, drive on down and see a little Clayton and Wensil live at Kingdom Corner. And then after we're done, you can spend all day at Kingdom Corner looking at it and you're still not going to see everything. And that's the truth. Brian Dunlap says we should do If I Could Dream. Man, that is one of my favorite Elvis songs of all time. And Brian, I have not forgotten you, man. I know you think I have. I have not. And it's just a lot of things have come up. Not all of it good. But I don't want to concentrate on the bad. I just want to talk about the good and the happy here on Break On Through. Any historic stuff and stuff. I just don't want to get into the personal dilemmas. But there are some. And which is why some of my projects that I've got in the chute to do are being pushed back a little bit. Brian, I've not forgotten about you. And you know what? Since we're talking about it right here in front of everybody, I tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to sing on a new October album. What do you think about that? October. Special guest vocals. OJC. See, Robbie's been to the Kingdom Corner. And speaking of Robbie Hargett, man, we have 4 songs of the Jeff Clayton Dimension already in the can. All that's got to be done to him is I got to put I got to go in there and ice the cake. I got to put the icing on the cake. And then Steve and the ladies that sing with us in Antiseen and in Clayton and Wensil, we're going to get them into the Dimension. They're probably listening to this going, oh, what's he going to have us doing something else now? But yeah, we're going to have them on this too. Once we get all this done, man, that's 4 songs completed for the Jeff Clayton Dimension release. What's it going to be released on Longhaired Weirdo? What's it going to be? LP, 7-inch, or CD? Well, I don't know. It depends on what all we get up. Let me ask all of you a question right now, and please answer me. Even if you're not watching live, to answer me right now. Would you tell me, do any of you still buy? And if you buy, do you even still like the 7-inch record format? Do y'all like 7-inch records? Because I'm going to tell you, there was a time in my life when that was my preferred format. I loved 7-inch, especially I had 3 or 4, 6 songs on it. But see, that's back when I had time, when all I was doing was sitting in front of the stereo, playing records and flipping them over. But see, I'm not that guy anymore. I sold most of my 7-inch records, including our material. I don't have a lot of Antiseen anymore. Why? Because I don't sit around listening to Antiseen all the time. And plus, I know enough of you that have complete collections of everything, of every single thing, that if I ever needed them, to listen to or to reference for whatever, then I know where to get them. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot in the support of the 7-inch, because I'm telling you whatever the last one Antiseen did, that's probably going to be the last one that Antiseen will ever do.
because and I know we don't have to, we got TKO as a record label. They'll foot the bill on releases we want to do, but even TKO is saying that the 7-inch is just not financially feasible anymore. As much as you got to pay for them to make anything off of them, it's almost highway robbery. But I mean, that's just the way it is. So I guess the question is, well, is it going to be on LP or CD? I imagine it'll be coming out on CD first, just because that's something that we can get done and get out and have people listening. Like, at this point, the response has been so great for Clayton and Wensil that Steve and I are actually considering a small run of 12-inch vinyl of that. So that may be something to look forward to in the next little bit here. And it may happen to the Dimension release too. But, everything Antiseen does comes out on vinyl. And now we're starting to put them out on CD as well. Now that Malcolm is close by, we have plans of putting out so much stuff on Longhaired Weirdo, on TPOS, on Death Train. So far, the only release on Death Train has been False Count Anywhere on CD. But that's going to change. We are going to we're going to create an avalanche of stuff over the next year. You are going to be mystified and amazed at how much stuff we can squeeze out. And you might think, well, you're just trying to make some money. Yeah, we're just trying to make a little bit of money. But we also want to get this stuff out, man, because, we're in year number 41. I am in year number 61. So it's really a matter of getting this stuff out while we're still around to get it out. You understand what I'm saying? Oh man, you're all right. You got last. Well, you think so? I didn't think the last time I saw Beer Reeves would be the last time I ever see Beer Reeves. You understand? So let's drink a toast of beer. Speaking of which, I had a little text conversation with Marla V today, and I'm going to give y'all the good news. Rancid Vat will go on. That's right. Elvis Irwin will move back into the spot of frontman. And right at the moment, he's also going to play guitar. But they are working on trying to find a second guitar. If you are in the San Antonio area and want to lend your talents to a band that's been around for what? They're older than us now. Hey, looky here. Well, let me get back to that. But Rule Breakers Ball 2025, September 19th and 20th, is going to happen with Rancid Vat and Antiseen. So do not fret. And you see right there, Larry Shreve. Do y'all know who Larry Shreve is? Well, I'm going to tell you who it is. That is the one and the only Abdullah the Butcher, right here on Break On Through with us. Let's see what Abdullah says. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Looking forward to seeing you, Jeff, and the rest of you on March 8th, 2025. Abby, I think it's the 7th on Friday. I want all my fans and friends and all the fans and friends of Antiseen to come out and have a great time with us. Tell you this is going to be one you don't want to miss. Antiseen is the best. Just make sure Your face is in the place. See, that's a man after my own heart. A man that likes to rhyme when he's got the time. That's just like me. Maybe me and Abby will sit back there at the table and invent great rhymes to tell each other. Yeah, March 7th. Man, I tell you what. Larry, Abdullah, I like to call you Abdullah because that's what I've always known you as. But I'm proud to say that I know you well enough now to call you Larry. But I just can't tell you what an honor it is for us to have you at our show. The first time, you just came as a spectator. But we made you part of the show. But this time, we are advertising you as a show where your fans can come listen to Antiseen and meet you in person live at the Star Bar in Atlanta on March 7th. Man, y'all don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it because it's going to be one of the best nights in Atlanta music history. Oh, yeah, Clayton, you're just blowing your own horn. Yeah, I am, because it's not bragging if you can back it up. Am I right, Abdullah? Abdullah the Butcher right here on Break On Through. Man, you know what? You know what, Abby? One night we're going to have to figure out a way to get you on here with me, even if we have to do it mechanically with technology, which, of course, there'll have to be someone in here helping me. Clinton Zilla, you want to make a trip to Charlotte? Help me do something? But all right, you got to do what he says. He says, come on out and join us. So when Abdullah speaks, you listen. That's all I got to say. But I'll tell you what, it's about time to wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'll take it. And I just want to say, as I always say, thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with me here on a Tuesday night. Listening to me hammer, like an old police scanner, just going. I appreciate you. And I just can't, I don't know, I always seem to get mushy this part of the show, but I do appreciate every one of you. I love you, and you know the Lord loves you. And I just want to say, join me next week right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where my special guest will once again be, who? Malcolm Tent. Yep, me and Malcolm are going to be here live, and we are going to be talking about his upcoming show with the one and only Joe Buck Yourself and Malcolm Tent live. So tune in. And man, I hope every one of you have a great week. I hope you have an even better weekend. And man, I can't wait to hang out with you again next Tuesday. So from me, my family, from Abdullah the Butcher, we all wish you good night.